Hi everyone, welcome back to the Hollywood Actors Guide to Surviving the Film and Television Industry. This is your host, Jennifer Lynn Warren, back in the saddle. Last week was just too insane. I was too busy hitting refresh on my browsers to focus enough to do a podcast. So I think we all felt that way, so forgive me. Today we're going to start off with a quote from Ernest Hemingway, and he said, "The best way to find out if you can trust somebody is to trust them." So we're in a crazy time right now. There's a lot of distrust and a lot of negativity on Facebook, and people are just like, you guys are up in arms, and politically it's great. But in your artistic life, you're going to need to let that go. And I know it's so hard. And I was putting myself on tape the other day, yesterday. Oh gosh, time just doesn't make sense anymore, does it? Yesterday I was putting myself on tape for a TV show. It's like episode number 3 of the first season. And it's a remake of a TV show. I can't tell you what it is, but I got real judgmental real fast about the fact that this TV show was being made. And the TV show was once starring somebody that you just could not imagine this TV show not starring this person. And my initial reaction was, what are these producers and writers thinking? Like, this is a terrible idea. Like, fans are going to be so mad. And I had to stop myself. And I had to remind myself that I've not read this entire project. They did not send me a full script. I only got some sides. I asked for a full script and they said no. You know, it's always good to ask for a script, but I always do. And, and so I had to trust them that maybe they figured out a way to make the show really good. And how often are we given a script and we look at the dialogue and everything and we immediately judge it and we're like, oh, this is going to be a horrible movie. The dialogue is awful. This writing is awful. But when you start to read the scripts of movies that you love, you start to realize that a lot of it on the page isn't really that good. But when you have a director with a vision and you have talented actors and amazing wardrobe and lighting guys who know what they're doing and an amazing DP and it all comes together, you go, oh. And that's happened to me a couple of times in my life where I blew off an audition and I didn't get it. And I judged the material and then I saw it and man, did I kick myself. So Ernest Hemingway's advice is really, really good, especially when it comes to trusting yourself. Trust the casting director that there was a reason they're bringing you in for the role. Trust your agent that they submitted this role for you for a reason. Trust yourself that you're going to be able to take what seems like bad material and elevate it. And trust the director and the studios. And I know like we like to poo-poo on the content that's out there, but what's the point of that? It doesn't help you as an actor. What helps you as an actor is to have faith in the process that everyone is trying to make the best project they possibly can, elevate the material, and trust everybody, and especially trust yourself. All right, let's talk about acting. Never play the mood. What do I mean by that? If you read a scene and you go, my character is really, really sad, and so I am going to quote, play sad. It doesn't work. What works is playing why the character is sad. Like, I don't know why this is the example popping into my head, but I feel like everyone's seen this episode, the pilot episode of Friends, when Rachel bursts into the coffee shop after fleeing her wedding. She is not, the actress, Jennifer Aniston, is not thinking in her head, I'm sad. I am confused. I'm maybe even a little bit frightened. That's probably not what she's thinking. What she's thinking is, oh my God, I can't believe I just ran away from my wedding. What is going to happen to me? Am I even going to be able to like afford my life? Is my parents going to cut me off from all of my, money that I'm getting? Are my friends going to abandon me because I left this Barry guy? When you start thinking those thoughts and the actions that your character is going to do because of the thoughts that they're having, you're going to feel sad and you're going to feel the anxiety and you're going to find the emotions the actor and the character are actually feeling. Because what's more interesting is to ignore for a moment when you read something what you think the character is feeling. Completely ignore it. Learn your lines, figure out why your character is saying what they're saying, play why they're saying what they're saying, and discover how you begin to feel about it. I had this audition the other day, and when I read it, my first assumption was this person was blowing this other person off. And when I broke down the beats and actions and everything like that, I figured out like, oh no, this is actually a coy little seduction. And if I had just played the surface emotion that appeared apparent in the script, I never would have made that discovery. So don't play the mood. Don't go in and think yourself, I am sad. Figure out what the subtext is. Play the action, play the beats, play your intention. Try to change the other person. Try to make them on your side, because a lot of scenes are about that, trying to convince somebody else of something. And do that, and the emotions will come. So it may be that you do or do not realize what kind of effect presidential elections can have on the film industry, but it can be huge. So I don't care what you think about how the election is going, but it is important to be aware of what could happen with Biden in the White House. And what's encouraging is that there is some expectation that the tone with China will change. Like, even if the trade tensions don't immediately disappear, there's a lot of films that really studios depend upon films in the Chinese market to make them money. And back in 2012, Biden and the Chinese vice president of the time, Jinping, I believe was his name, they reached an agreement for more U.S. film exports to go to China. And it was a huge thing at the time. And it's so important that this relationship continues and that we are able to open our films in more and more theaters across the world. I probably sound like a studio head right now, but this is the way we need to think. And we need to think about the fact that the arts have not been in the White House for so long. Like, it hasn't been since Obama. I guess it's been 4 years, and he had the Hamilton cast there. They would have poetry readings, music, and this hasn't happened. And I personally feel, and if you disagree with me, that's totally okay. I personally feel that the current administration has been very lacking in, even though, it shouldn't be, Trump should understand reality TV and, the importance of the arts, but he doesn't. He just understands business, and he doesn't understand the importance of tackling issues like piracy and COVID-19 relief for movie theaters and things like that. So I personally am looking forward to a new administration and the respect and love for arts to again be in our lives in the political arena. Oh, and the first rescue dog ever is going to be in the White House. And I literally bawled tears when I found out about that, because I'm a dork and it's been an emotional week. And so that's it, guys. That is all I have for you. Break a leg out there. And remember, you are not alone.